Growing population and rising water demand. The global water crisis is becoming one of the greatest threats to humanity. As the world's population continues to grow rapidly, the demand for clean and safe water is increasing every year. Water is essential for drinking, agriculture, industries, electricity production, and sanitation. However, freshwater resources are limited, and many countries are already facing severe shortages. Today, billions of people depend on rivers, lakes, underground water, and glaciers for their daily needs. Agriculture alone consumes nearly 70% of the world's freshwater supply because crops require large amounts of water to grow. As the population increases, food demand also rises, forcing farmers to use even more water for irrigation. Industries such as textile factories, food processing plants, chemical factories, and power stations also require massive amounts of water every day. Urbanization is creating additional pressure on water resources. Large cities are expanding rapidly as millions of people move from rural areas to urban centers. This increases water consumption for homes, transportation, construction, and sanitation systems. Unfortunately, many developing countries lack modern infrastructure to manage water efficiently, causing huge amounts of water to be wasted. Climate change is making the situation even worse. Droughts are becoming more frequent, rainfall patterns are changing, and many rivers are slowly drying up. Glaciers that supply fresh water to millions of people are melting because of rising global temperatures. Experts warn that future conflicts between countries may occur because of water shortages. Water may become more valuable than oil in some regions. If proper action is not taken now, millions of people could face hunger, poverty, disease, and displacement due to lack of clean water. Conserving water and improving water management have become urgent global priorities. Climate change and drought are destroying water sources. Climate change is one of the biggest causes of the growing global water crisis. Rising temperatures across the Earth are changing weather patterns, creating longer droughts, unpredictable rainfall, and shrinking freshwater resources. Scientists believe that climate change may make clean water one of the world's most limited resources in the future. Many rivers, lakes, and reservoirs around the world are drying up because of extreme heat and reduced rainfall. Higher temperatures increase evaporation, causing water bodies to lose water more quickly. In many regions, underground water reserves are also being depleted because people are using more water than nature can replace naturally. Droughts are severely damaging agriculture. Farmers are struggling to grow crops because there is not enough water for irrigation. As crops fail, food shortages increase, prices rise, and millions of people face hunger and poverty. Rural communities are especially vulnerable because they depend directly on farming and natural water sources for survival. Glaciers and snow-covered mountains are important freshwater sources for millions of people. However, global warming is causing glaciers to melt rapidly. Although glacier melting may initially increase water flow, over time it reduces long-term freshwater availability. Many countries may eventually lose major freshwater sources entirely. Deforestation is another major problem connected to climate change. Forests help regulate rainfall and maintain the Earth's natural water cycle. When forests are destroyed, rainfall decreases, soil dries out, and drought conditions become more severe. Poor countries face the greatest risks because they often lack strong infrastructure, such as dams, reservoirs, and advanced irrigation systems. Millions of people may eventually be forced to migrate because of extreme water scarcity and climate-related disasters. Reducing carbon emissions, protecting forests, promoting renewable energy, and improving water conservation systems are essential steps to prevent the global water crisis from becoming even more dangerous in the future. Water pollution is poisoning the planet. Water pollution is another major reason why the world is moving toward a dangerous water crisis. Even when water is available, much of it becomes unsafe because of industrial waste, chemicals, plastics, sewage, and agricultural pollution. Millions of people around the world still lack access to safe drinking water, and contaminated water causes serious diseases and environmental destruction every year. Factories often dump untreated chemicals and toxic waste directly into rivers, lakes, and oceans. These pollutants poison aquatic life, damage ecosystems, and make water unsafe for humans. Industrial pollution from factories, oil refineries, mining operations, and chemical plants has already contaminated many important water sources worldwide. Plastic pollution has become one of the most alarming environmental threats of modern times. Huge amounts of plastic waste enter rivers and oceans every year. Small plastic particles called microplastics are now found in drinking water, seafood, and even inside the human body. Scientists are increasingly concerned about the long-term health effects of this contaminations. Agriculture also contributes heavily to water pollution. Farmers use fertilizers and pesticides to increase crop production, but rainfall often washes these chemicals into rivers and groundwater. This creates toxic algae blooms, kills fish, and damages freshwater ecosystems. In many developing countries, poor sanitation systems allow untreated sewage to flow directly into water bodies. As a result, diseases such as cholera, typhoid, and diarrhea continue to spread among vulnerable populations, especially children. Marine ecosystems are also suffering because polluted water reduces oxygen levels and destroys habitats. Coral reefs are dying, fish populations are declining, and biodiversity is under serious threat. Solving water pollution requires strict environmental laws, better waste management systems, modern sewage treatment plants, recycling programs, and increased public awareness. Protecting clean water is essential not only for human survival, but also for the future stability of ecosystems and global civilization. The impact of water crisis on humanity and economy. The global water crisis will affect every part of human life, including health, food production, industries, energy systems, and economic development. Water is essential for survival, and without reliable access to clean water, societies may face instability, poverty, and humanitarian disasters on a massive scale. One of the biggest dangers is food insecurity. Agriculture depends heavily on water for crops and livestock production. When droughts reduce water availability, crop production decreases, and food prices rise rapidly. Poor communities suffer the most because they cannot afford expensive food during shortages. Health problems also increase when clean water becomes scarce. Millions of people already suffer from diseases caused by contaminated water and poor sanitation. Hospitals and healthcare systems may struggle during large-scale water shortages, especially in developing countries where medical infrastructure is weak. Industries require huge amounts of water for manufacturing, cleaning, cooling systems, and transportation. Water shortages can reduce industrial production, increase costs, and create unemployment. Businesses that depend heavily on water may face severe economic losses. Energy production may also be affected because hydropower plants require water to generate electricity. Many power stations use water for cooling systems as well. Severe droughts can reduce electricity generation and create energy shortages that affect millions of people. Education can suffer too. In some poor communities, children must spend hours collecting water instead of attending school. This affects their future opportunities and slows social development. Water scarcity may also lead to migration and conflict. Communities facing severe droughts may be forced to leave their homes in search of safer living conditions. Competition over water resources could create tensions between neighboring regions and countries. The economic damage caused by the global water crisis could reach trillions of dollars in the future. Governments must invest in water conservation, infrastructure, and sustainable resource management before the crisis becomes uncontrollable. Solutions to prevent the global water crisis. Although the global water crisis is becoming increasingly dangerous, there are still many effective solutions that can help protect the future. Governments, industries, scientists, and ordinary people all have important roles in conserving water and improving water management systems around the world. Water conservation is one of the most important solutions. People can reduce unnecessary water use in homes, agriculture, and industries. Simple actions such as fixing leaks, using water-efficient appliances, recycling wastewater, and avoiding waste can save enormous amounts of fresh water every year. Modern agricultural technologies can also help reduce water consumption. Drip irrigation systems deliver water directly to plant roots, reducing water loss significantly. Scientists are developing drought-resistant crops that require less water while still producing good harvests. Sustainable farming methods can protect both food production and natural resources. Governments must invest in modern water infrastructure. Many countries lose huge amounts of water because of damaged pipelines, outdated systems, and poor management. Building reservoirs, improving sewage treatment plants, and upgrading irrigation systems are essential for long-term water security. Protecting forests, wetlands, and rivers is equally important because healthy ecosystems help regulate rainfall and maintain the natural water cycle. Reforestation projects and environmental protection programs can improve water availability over time. Desalination technology is becoming increasingly important in countries facing severe water shortages. This technology converts seawater into fresh water. Although expensive, it may become a critical solution for many coastal regions in the future. Public awareness and education are also necessary. People must understand the importance of clean water and the dangers of pollution. Schools, governments, and media organizations can promote responsible water use and environmental protection. International cooperation is essential because many rivers and water systems are shared by multiple countries. Working together peacefully to manage water resources fairly and sustainably will be critical for future global stability and human survival.